Well, good evening, everybody. We are glad you made it out tonight. This is the South Texas Amateur Radio Club meeting, and got to get my notes. Without these, I have no idea what I'm doing. Do we have any visitors with us tonight? Robert, what's your call, Robert? WD5FDB. All right. All right. Very good. Glad you're with us. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Very good. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Steve, would you like to address us with the minutes of the meeting, or okay, if Steve's got the minutes, if you'd like to take a look at them, can I get a motion to accept the minutes? Second? All in favor? Okay, it passes. Sparky, the treasurer's report.
Because we are online, we do not divulge our financials because it's recorded and playable. So if anybody is interested in seeing the financials for the club, feel free to check with me. I have copies. I'll provide those, and you can view any of the information that's available.
Okay, thank you, Sparky. We had a estate sale for the family of N5 SCG in Portland, and we were able to raise right at $3,000 for the family. And I think that's just great. And what's left is back on the table over there. If you want to buy one of those for donation, whatever, to the club, because now it belongs to the club, we would appreciate that. They also donated a complete radio station set up for the museum. It's earmarked for our museum site when we get that up and running. And we really do appreciate them doing that. We had an ICOM 7300, an LDG tuner, power supply, and a beautiful desk mic that I lusted after a lot. And so they donated that to the club for us to use down at the station at the museum when we get it up and running. We have applied for a grant from ARRL for almost $5,000 for the antenna system to put down there. The museum is going to allow us to put a tower on the roof. And so this is going to be a really first-class operation when we get it up and running. Timeline is a little smoky right now because they're remodeling. They know where they want to put us, but they have to build a room right now. They're moving the doors from where they are to the other side to the water garden. They're swatching A to B on the building, but we're looking forward to that. As far as the repeaters go, we had an outage today. The Malkin KZFM site went down, so they were off the air, and both of our repeaters there were off. We did get them back up. Sparky, would you like to address the link?
Okay. So with the repeater down, obviously we had problems retransmitting. Once the power came back on, the PC that runs the All-Star doesn't automatically relink. So luckily, we didn't have to go out to the site and push the power button. It came up on its own, but it was not linked, so I was able to get it relinked this afternoon. So in the Fusion, which the RF link resides at my residence at the moment, it stayed online, but the repeater itself was offline. But once power was restored to the site, and once we were able to get the second All-Star link back up and running, we are 100% on the KZFM tower site. We've been having some issues. We think we got them resolved where every time the IP address at the site changed, because it's not static, it would get rejected by the hub. But we've had conversations with the hub manager for the Crossroads Amateur Radio Club, Robert, and he made sure that he made us basically whitelisted in there so that it doesn't matter what our IP address is, we're always going to be allowed in. So we haven't seen any significant issues since that configuration was changed. We had power issues over the weekend as well. There was a storm that was kind of hovering over the site and caused a couple of fluctuations on the power. And that in turn caused us to lose the link, and then we had to go back out and reset it. So working through some little issues, but it seems to be more stable now that we've been whitelisted. So we're working on getting a UPS put in just to keep some cleaner power and some consistent power on the PC. And then hopefully that will resolve some of those issues that are kind of still lingering with the link being sporadically down. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of here this week, by this weekend, and then we'll keep on trucking. And then Jim will talk about some other potential repeater discussion stuff. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Sparky. The 8.2 and DMR repeaters had no issues throughout the storm, so that's good. And they're up and running. The Lexington repeater had been off. It had a lot of problems. We had to take it down. It was taken in for service. And Joel isn't here, and I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if it's back on the air or not. Their original idea was to get it back up Tuesday, but I haven't checked it. So if it's back up, yes, sir. It's not back up. Okay. So, pardon me? Okay. Do you have anything else on the Lex, David, that you'd like to come share with everyone? Well, good. So the HF radios are working well up there. Anyone that wants to go up and use them, it's a part of our club, and you're certainly welcome to do that. Just get with one of the board members, and we'll show you how everything works up there. Or David can do that. And once you know how to do it, all you have to do is tell them at the gate that you're with the radio club and you're going to the radio room, and they'll let you in. If you want to take the family, we have passes, and we can get you on there for the family to do the whole tour.
The president of the Mexican equivalent of ARRL came and visited us, and I took him up there, and he spent about an hour talking to stations in Spanish. It was kind of fun. He was really impressed with that situation.
Okay, good. Thank you, David. We had, do you have anything as far as the web is concerned, Sparky, you need to share? Nothing? Okay. Everything is up and running on our website. Feel free to look it over and make any suggestions of anything you want added or changed or whatever. And Sparky and Eric will get to it as time allows, but we really appreciate their effort that they've got in doing that design. We had a special presentation of our Hammy tonight, which I forgot to print, and the ham isn't here. So I will tell you that this month's Hammy is going to Tom Tilgen, K5SES in Rockport, because Tom is the one who is instrumental in a lot of the equipment and antennas that are on the Lex. He made that possible, and so we really do appreciate that, and I will get his award certificate to him. VE testing, a lot going on. James, would you like to come up and fill us in, please, sir?
Yeah, we've got a ham cram coming up on the 27th. It'll be at Jim Wilkins' recording studio at his house. He'll give you the information here in a minute on it. It'll start probably around 8 o'clock in the morning or so. and run to about 5. And about 5, we'll ask all the VEs to be up there to set up for and give the test. Right now, we're at capacity. The studio will not hold anybody else, which means it won't hold anybody else for testing. So open testing, this will not be. I will be announcing a test probably for next month as soon as I can get a date and a location. And we'll pick up the new hams from the ham cram, plus anybody else that wants to take the tech, general, or extra class test. So look forward to that date. We'll announce it on the n5crp.org website, VE testing. And want everybody to come out. If you're going to take the technician class test, or a friend of yours or someone that you know is going to take the technician class test, please get with them and show them how to get to cores and get an FRN number. If you show up without an FRN number, I'm afraid we're going to have to turn you down. So please work with everybody so that they show up with an FRN. If you're going to take the upgrade, make sure you have a copy of your license. You can go to your cores account, go to FCC, go to admin, be two little tabs up there, and you'll be able to download a copy of your license and print it out. So if you could do that, sure makes testing go a whole lot smoother, and we don't have to hold things up. There's been a slight slowdown in the postal system. Even if you send it registered, it still goes slow. So time has been added from the time you take the test to the time that you're going to get your license issued through the FCC. But once it's issued, it's going to show up in your account. So you need to be checking your account. And as soon as it shows up, on the left end of that line, will be a little colored flag. Click on that, then go back to cores, and there'll be in the second little box, there'll be fees. Click on that. That'll take you to the payment page. Put in your FRN number, and then your name will pop up in a separate box. Click on that separate box with your name. It will move up to the same line as your FRN number, and the payment options will now become available to you. So when that happens, pick your poison, how you want to send them send your $35 to them, follow instructions, and as soon as it clicks accepted, then you're on the air. So keep that in mind as you take your test and you get ready to pay your fees. Other than that, I want to thank all our VEs and all of our different hosts that provide facilities for us to take the test. You guys make it happen, and we're very, very grateful. Yeah.
Thank you, James. We appreciate all you do for testing everyone and getting them their license and getting us upgraded. That's no small chore, and so we really appreciate that. The club recently bought a really cool canopy and associated equipment to go out and do on-site exhibitions like we did at Field Day. And I think it would be really cool if we could go do it at a lot of the little activities around town. I keep watching TV and going, why didn't we know about that? So if you guys know of anything that's coming up that you think it would benefit the club to go set up and just be a presence, show people what ham radio is, show people what STARC is, invite them to join the hobby, to join us. And it doesn't matter whether it's big or small, as long as you think it will benefit the club. Let us know. We'd really like to get out there and get more involved and do that. That's the whole reason that we made the expenditure to get all of the goodies to show us off. And so we definitely could use a hand finding out where to go instead of saying, oh, gee, I wish we were there. And I did that 3 times yesterday on TV. I said, why didn't we know about that? So Is there any other old business that we haven't covered at this point? Would like to bring up once again the Prince Charming Royal Teas at 3814 Acushnet. That's off of Weber behind the Miller's Barbecue there. They have our logo and they are doing the shirts for us. You can take in your own shirt, have your logo put on it for about $13, or you can buy the whole shirt from them. This is not the cheapest shirt. It was kind of a medium. This was $31 with the call and everything on it. And it takes them about a week to do it. And so make sure you go out and get you a STARC shirt and show off our logo. Yes, sir.
I took a shirt over to the product.
Oh, yeah.
Shirt over to the product. A week ago today, and the little girl, I said, well, okay, you'll be here to come this next week. I said, if you could, I would at least like to have it, say, in the morning of next Thursday, if you have a meeting on Thursday night. Friday, late afternoon, I got a message saying it was ready to pick up. It was too late for you to come get it, so I had to get it.
Right. Cool.
This is one of the shirts that-
And you look good too.
Yeah, well,
If-
they have my name, I have my call sign put over
Yeah, if they are not busy, they'll turn them around in a hurry. We caught them on a baseball team week, and so it took them 2 weeks to get ours out, but a couple of days, that's great. We just need to tell them you need it day before yesterday, but they'll really take care of you. David, did you have something?
It's from the other club, and it shows you a little bit different layout.
Oh, yeah, that, the layout there is with a patch as opposed to just having it embroidered on, right?
there. That's the C-Bar.
Yeah, the STARC logo.
They did those for us years past.
Yeah, well, it looks good too. When, anyway, they're there, if you guys would like to go and help them out. And Charles, while we're talking about you, Charles is going to do our program tonight. And so at this point, I would like to go ahead and close the meeting and let Charles get ready for doing the presentation tonight, which is going to be really cool. It's kind of a stealth HOA, hide it and they won't know you're there, kind of an antenna system. Do I have a motion to close the meeting? And seconded, okay, very good. All right, thank you for being here for the STARC meeting. And we invite everybody watching to come out next month and be with us and watch for any of our activities that we are out and about in town. And I see James is passing out our giveaway tickets. So at this point, Charles, if you'd like to come up and get ready for your presentation, we'll take a break and have something to snack on.
Real quick, while Charles is setting up, I do want to put a little pitch in for another organization, only because right now they've had a lot of activity that could be interesting and kind of cross boundaries between us and what they do. So if you haven't heard of CERT, CERT, it is a FEMA-sponsored FEMA curriculum on various emergency needs function. They're not one-size-fits-all organization. So CERT, they'll do anything from running a shelter during a disaster to doing active search and rescue on areas that were impacted by disaster. They'll go and do the initial run or the secondary run of searches house by house, entering houses when safe to do so, or just doing a walk-by damage assessment. They do something they call pod points of distribution, where if they're delivering water and releasing it to the public, they're having a water boil in a small town, the organization will get requested by the local emergency manager, and then they will gather their volunteers that have been certified or trained to go out and assist. And the reason why they do this is because whenever there's a disaster, there's always the good-hearted people that want to come out. They want to help, but they have no training. They have no understanding of what the structure needs to be, how to be organized. So this is, it's an organizational structure similar to what those emergency responders are performing under. And they teach you how to do that. They teach you some of the functions. You get to participate, but at least you've come to the table slightly trained and able to start working with their group. So up in Houston during Beryl, they've stood up a lot of shelters. They stood up assisting with getting paperwork started for financial assistance. So they have one that's sponsored out of Sanpete County, which is the Brazoria group, which was very active during Beryl. And then it's a 2-day course. It takes about a weekend. They started on a Friday and a Saturday and Sunday, and then they offer at various times of the year. So if that's something you're interested in, they're definitely an organization that kind of runs parallel with some of the stuff that we do. And, you know, they're available. So if you've never heard of them, look into them. FEMA sponsored. They have a set up curriculum. So with that said, I think Charles is ready, and I will pass the mic to him.
A little history on this antenna. I don't develop antennas myself. I'm a pretty good copier of antennas. This antenna originated with a group in Colorado Springs. There were 3 teenagers that lived in an HOA, and of course they had trouble being able to transmit. So they got their heads together and developed this little antenna. Basically, all it is a jaw mount. And by the way, I don't normally use that. I did that so that I could have something to put it on here. But normally I drive a stake, and the jaw mount goes on the stake. The jaw mount has a 3/8 by 24 threaded connector there, which the antenna goes into. The bottom side of it has an SO239 connector. So the coax connects on the bottom of this whole thing. So as you can see, these 3 kids decided that what they do is they actually grabbed one of these asphalt tampers that people have and used that to mount it. They put the jaw clamp on. This is a MFJ 1979 17-foot antenna, telescoping antenna. Actually, it takes up about 24 feet if you lay the radials out, which I'm not going to do, but there are 24 16-foot radials that are connected to this, and actually that's what takes the longest to set this up. I actually built it not because I live on HOA, but it's an excellent emergency communication antenna. You imagine if we lost power and we had to communicate and so forth, you grab your radio, grab your battery, grab your coax, go out and set this up, and you can operate all the way from 6 meters up to 20 meters. 17 foot, actually 16 and a half foot is what you need for a 20 meter. But go out, set it up. I got something in my mouth. Let's say you decide you want to operate on 10 meters. All you do is you grab this, you extend the antenna to, I've got 18 feet, 18 feet, 1 inch, 9 and, yeah. Start this again. 8 feet, 1 inch, and 9/16 inches. Of course, you know, pull this up to where you have 8 feet, and you can operate on 10 meters. If you want to go on 20 meters, you just extend this all the way up, and if you've got a antenna analyzer, you can check and make sure. But if you ran this all the way up to its full length, you could operate on 20 meters. You see a butter thing there? All that is it's a bunch of about 3-inch nails I use to hold the ends of my radials down. I can tell you it operates very well. Of course, since you can adjust this, you can get it to resonant on the frequency that you want to. So you don't even need a tuner or automatic tuner. You just adjust it. But all of the measurements for using it, you just come close and it will operate. Basically, that's it. I told Jim I wasn't gonna take long because there's not a whole lot to talk about on it. I will make this comment though. This is a MFJ antenna. NFJ is going out of business. I don't know how long this particular model antenna will be available. However, I did some looking. Gigapart sells a 16-foot telescoping antenna. DX Engineering sells one that's manufactured by Chameleon, which then allows me to segue into the fact that the clamp on here, the jaw mount clamp, was manufactured by a company called High Sierra. They evidently are out of business. But Chameleon sells a clamp that looks very much like that they sell for using their antennas. The problem is their clamp does not have the 3/8 by 24 connector, nor the SO 239 that you all put this thing up. You can see here's the SO 239. So if you decided to build an antenna like this, you'd have to, oh, your hams. You know, you could always add that. That's no big deal. But like I say, it's a lot of fun. One of the things I did several years ago is I took it out and extended it and tuned it at on each of the bands and marked the locations with a Sharpie. But I got looking and I can't hardly find them anymore. And I was going to retune and remark, except I don't do things in the rain. So, you know, we've been having the rain. So I need to go do that. But, you know, feel free to come up, look at it. It's a simple antenna, but, you know, for an HOA, It takes you probably 10, 15 minutes to get all the radios out. You can operate another 10, 15 minutes. You roll all the radios up and disassemble it, put it away. But like I say, I like it as a possible incom antenna. Okay, and if you're interested in the original design, I printed some copies of the article.
Thank you, Charles. Very cool, very interesting. Inexpensive and fast. That's always nice. That's really good. I would like to, yes.
What?
You have a data sheet of that construction? List of materials or?
Yeah, I've got a sheet that talks about how it was put together, and also have notes on where you can get the different pieces. I also, in my pocket, have my sheet on just, how long you need to be for each of the bands. And I'm just going to run this thing up, just show you how. Go ahead. I'll just do this while you're doing your thing.
Okay. Well, I do have one other thing that we were talking about, the ham cram class. That's this Saturday. We're going to do it from 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock and then test at 5 o'clock. That is our plan. The last time it worked out great that way. The first time we ran way over because we didn't know what to expect. If someone would like to help me, oh please, do the class, I would appreciate it. All we're doing, they have all been emailed the manual, so hopefully they're going through that, and we just go through the manual with them, question by question, and answer any questions that they may have. Just something that they read and just didn't make the light come on. And so that's what we're trying to do. So if you're available and you'd like to help, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. Do we have anything else tonight? Yes, James. The drawing to see who wins what here. Yeah. We appreciate everybody watching tonight, and we'll see you the fourth Thursday of next month.